The California Teachers Association, CTA, and the Institute for Teaching, IFT, present IFT Expo 2015, a series of presentations by IFT grant recipients.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Deepika Srivastava. I'm a math teacher at Valley View High School in Moreno Valley Unified School District, which is in Riverside County, down south in Inland Empire. I would give you a quick introduction of who I am. I was born in India. I went to school in India. I had my education in India, got my master's in computer science and nuclear physics, worked in India, got married, moved with my husband all around the world, from Singapore to Malaysia to London, and then finally we came to this country. Gave myself 9 years to have kids, raise them, send them to school, and then when my son was at kindergarten, that's when I decided I need to go back to school because that's and get my teaching credential. I got my teaching credential, got hired at Palm Middle School, and I started teaching math. And in the first week of my teaching at Palm, I realized my students would walk in my class disengaged and like, I hate math. Math is frustrating. It's boring. This is the only reason I don't have a 4.0 GPA. And I was like, wow, what have we done to math in this country? I mean, I come from the global perspective that 50% of the world population has never been to school, has never held a pencil in their hand, yet they make a successful living by using real-life math experiences that they have got from the work they do. And here we have students that life has been given on a platter. They go to air-conditioned schools, and they say they hate math. So it's time for some change. And so I started doing after-school tutoring and intervention program, and where our students would come and I would teach them math in small groups. And then we did that for a year, and that school experienced a 34-point growth in their API in the first year. The second year I was at the same site, and I did a program called Math League, and the superintendent came and she saw it, and the school again experienced a 16-point growth the next year. And she said, I wish we could extend the program to the entire district, all the 6 middle schools in the district. So I wrote the grant, we got the grant, so we started. So with the Math League, we got the grant, and it's being now supported, completely supported by Ed Services. We have it across all 6 middle schools. It serves a student population of 8,000 students and their families. This year, on the second year, it was just, first year it was just 8,000 students. Second year, it was 8,000 students and their families. We have 12 Math League coaches, 2 from each side. They are math teachers. And we have 3 levels of competition. These were the coaches in 2013-14, and here are the names of the coaches that are working with 2014-15. They are classroom teachers. They work in the classroom, teach all day, and then after school, they are helping students at risk. So what we do in round 1, we start in the month of October. September, we start identifying the math coaches who want to work in this program. October, we have a test that is administered to each and every 8,000 middle school students, and they take it in 1 math class period. Most of the teachers have smart board facilities, so they use responders. If they don't, then they go to the paper and pencil. But the students are not allowed to use a calculator or a smartphone, or they're mostly asked to do the calculation in their head and put their answers on the smart board responders. Through this process, we give access to every child, an opportunity to every child to become successful. We identify 25 top students from each grade level at each site, making 75 students at each site. And then we have 75 at each site. These are the 75 students that we call them math ambassadors. They help the teachers after school in their intervention program. They are paired up with 2 to 3 students who are struggling. They teach within those peer tutoring programs. And as a result, we are hoping that we didn't have the statewide assessment last year, but this year we do expect the API scores of all the schools to go up. And for the first round of this, we did the STEM night at Palm Middle School. We invited all the parents and the families, because every time a student wants, we tell them, you have to be good at math. They say, why? What is there in math? And there's so many STEM fields that are exposed, so we thought we should get Dr. Clute, Pamela Clute from UCR. She's the STEM woman of California. We got her, and the picture is also our superintendent, Dr. White. We got them, invited the families. We said, here are so many opportunities for every student who excels in math. Then this year, we extended the program to the families, and we are doing family math night. And once again, when we invite the families, we don't talk to them. We say, we are going to solve real-life math problems. We take problems from Casey, but word it in a way that it makes sense to parents. And we said, when you're not using calculators, you're not using smartphones, and you're not using paper and pencil, you're doing all the math in your head. And we are doing math for 1.5 hours. When the first time I brought this idea, everyone said, this lady is crazy. You're asking parents to do math for 1.5 hours without giving them calculator, without giving them access to smartphones and paper and pencil. And I said, you know what? The parents will do it. We just have to make them believe that they can do it. And the parents did it to the extent that we started at 5:30, we ended at 7, and the parents said, don't stop, we just go on. But we had to stop. We had a custodian staff waiting for the NPR to clear up. So it has been amazing. We are doing one family night at every school each month. So we are done with 4 family math nights. We have 2 more to go in the month of March and April. We did provide a day of coding instead of an hour of code that was being done in December around the globe. We said we'll give them a day of coding, all these 450 students across 6 middle schools. And we will expose them that because there are 1.5 million jobs every year that go to countries like India, China, Taiwan, France, and Brazil, because we do not create a workforce here that can take up these jobs. And I said, here's what we will do. We'll take these students, the smartest and the brightest in our district, we will expose them to a coding program, and they will be potential technology creators, not just users. Then we take these 450 students at each side to the second round, and in this second round, we make teams of 3 students, a 6th grader, a 7th grader, and an 8th grader. They compete at their site among themselves. This is how the setup looks like. They sit in an NPR. The questions are projected. Once again, we do not give them access to smartphones or calculators. They have to work with each other. They have to collaborate with each other. We ensure that each team has equity by ensuring that each team has a 6th grader, 7th grader, and an 8th grader. And once again, everyone thought, oh, this is not possible. This is Moreno Valley. We do serve a low socioeconomic. I said, doesn't matter. These students have so much talent, they have so much potential, we just have to bring them out. And as teachers, that's all we will do. We'll just facilitate the talent that is there in them, just harness the talent. And these are some of the pictures that we have from last year at the round 2, because we are still doing round 2 in the last month of February this year. And it was amazing, the rigor of the questions, the smile on the faces, the confidence. We had started a revolution in math. And then we take these students, and then we take a break in the month of March and April because we have to prepare our students. We do not do any activities during the day because of the SBAC testing or the state testing. But we do have after-school intervention. The coaches and these math ambassadors still work with the at-risk students after school to bring up, raise the achievement bar for them. And in the month of May, we do the finale with all the 5 top teams from each school. They compete with each other to decide who the winner is. And in this round, this is a project, we also have a project base, unlike the second round. And so these are some of the pictures, these are some of the pictures that we have from last year. And every student gets to have a Moreno Valley Math League t-shirt. And this t-shirt was like, what will this t-shirt do? I said, imagine when you have these 90 students sitting in an NPR and you tell them these 90 are the top from 8,000 students. They are less than the top 1%. It is a pride that you have to be a part of this league. So we gave them this pride, and now you see these t-shirts. They're so proudly, they adorn them, and they just love being part of this league. We encourage collaboration and team building skills through some of the activities we did. Project-based learning, because I sincerely feel that paper and pencil assessment is not the only way you can assess and manifest a student learning. There's so much creative ways that you can do it. And I gave them, the students, these options that they can manifest their learning through the projects. And these are some of the examples that the students made. There's a 3-tiered candy land that they made, and the students don't move from one board peg to the other if they don't solve a questions. And it was amazing to see them, how differently everybody thought. I said, you could be selling a board game, or you could be designing a board game for Toys R Us, and you could be a potential millionaire In years to come, these were some of the poster boards, the PowerPoint presentations, the computer game, because we trained them in programming, and problem solving. We exposed them to problem solving, and we used the Scratch interface from Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Now I can go over these problems. They are making word problems and in Scratch, and so they are learning math, and they are now, this is how the Khan Academy or all the math websites are solving questions. So they are doing actual coding and being a technology creator just instead of being a technology consumer. We did I wrote a grant for Engineering Everywhere, sponsored by Museum of Science Boston. We got that grant, and we did the Summer Engineering Camp for these Math League finalists last year. We took our students to STEM Symposium last year. They actually got to present their projects to the state superintendent. We set up the booth, and then the teachers and the coaches, we took a backseat, and I said, this is your work. You need to present it. They presented it. And Don Ferlaxon, that's the state superintendent, he's heard these students, and then he asked me, Deepika, what did you do to these students? I said, all I did was give them a fire in their belly, and they went for the sky and the stars. The grant that we have, we are using this to give technology to our teachers, the stipends to our teachers. We are also using that to buy students, because it was a big issue for us. How do we retain students who are at risk, who are struggling learners, who are English language learners, after school without motivating? So we bought bears, and we bought pencil pouches, and we bought tumblers and water tumblers, and it's like anything that will keep these students in school 1 hour after school, just to make sure that they are successful. The program has been amazingly successful around the district. There have been so many parents that have emailed the educational services and the superintendent that they have matched every dollar that we got from IFT. So they give us the certificates. They support all the snacks and the refreshments for all and lunches for all the students and the Math League. They cater to all the field trips that we are taking, the release days for Math League coaches and the coordinators, because we are out of class so many times just to facilitate these programs and these field trips. This is what the superintendent has to say about the Math League, and she's like, what we do is what we believe. We are showing it the support. It's completely a teacher-driven process, yet it is being completely supported by Ed Services. This is what he has to say. I told him we are going, and he says, okay, go ahead and let them know that this is what we feel about this program. This is MVA, our MVA head, Harold Accord, and Ann Adler, our CTA director. And these are some of the comments that the parents emailed the district office once they attended the family math nights. Parents said, I feel so good about math because I now know that it is something that we can do as a team, we can do as a family, and I feel that it's not okay to struggle in math. There is so much help that the district is offering through these programs, and I'll make sure that my child has access to this program. And I also got Sal Khan Sal Khan is the CEO of Khan Academy, and I got him to endorse our, unfortunately, I don't think we have audio device for the, so he got to, okay. No, it's going through, no, the projector, so I can share that video with you guys. So he got to endorse our league. He saw some of the programs that we were doing, and he's like, this is we want where students feel excited about math, not. So we have changed the notion that math is hard. We went a long way from math is hard to math is fun and creative. Thank you, guys.
Learn more about the Institute for Teaching and its commitment to strength-based teacher-driven change at www.teacherdrivenchange.org and follow us on Twitter @CTAIFT.